What's happening, guys? We are camping out here on the South Yuba River and we're just waking up. It's time to make some coffee. I wanted to show you guys how I like to make coffee out on the trail. It's pretty simple and pretty convenient way to do it. Oh. So my number one favorite way to make coffee is to have somebody else make it. And then I just sit around and wait. All right, they're not gonna let me have any of their coffee, so I'll show you guys how I make it. So this is definitely not the easiest or the quickest recipe for coffee, but if you've got the room, maybe you're out in a vehicle, I find this is how you get the best tasting coffee, and it's very repeatable for me. So it's really dependent on the beans at that point. So I prefer to have whole beans and grind them up myself. I just think that is how you get the best tasting coffee. So we are gonna have to do a little bit of grinding. And the other part really that can be difficult, especially if you're backpacking, is having a heat source to get things hot. But we are driving the Jeep, so we brought a Jackery, it's a power bank, and then we have an electric hot cup that's gonna heat the water up. So that actually makes it a lot easier than messing with fire. It does take a little bit longer, but it's not an open flame. You don't have to worry about anything tipping over. It's just easy. We've got water in our little hot cup here. Turn the AC on. We're at a Hyundai. Let's see how much this thing is gonna use. Give that a few minutes to get going, and while we're doing that, we'll get the coffee beans ground up. So this coffee grinder is pretty cool because it fits right into the Aeropress itself. Pretty cheap one off of Amazon. Really popular one too. And we're using coffee from Spearhead Coffee in Paso Robles, California. Mystery coffee, I don't even know what it is. I'm supposed to just try it and find out later. One rounded scoop into the grinder, cap back on, and now we grind. This one has a little viewing window in the bottom, but it doesn't really matter. You just keep grinding until there's not really any resistance, and then, you know, the beans are all ground up. All right, so resistance is going away. Now you can't hear anything because coffee's all ground up. So separate the halves. That's the best part about grinding it up, is smelling it right afterwards. It's like candy. All right, so I'm gonna get the Aeropress ready. The Aeropress, if you try to look up any coffee recipes for Aeropress on YouTube, there's like a million of them, and they're all way different. Everybody has their own way they like to do it. One of my old bosses is the one that showed me Aeropress. He does this all the time, probably every day, and he's gonna heavily critique how I'm doing this. So I just put the little filter in the Aeropress. It comes with so many of it. So many of those. I've had it for at least a year, right? I've had it for a while and haven't even gone through like half of them, so that's cool. Normally you'd put the filter on, do the water and coffee in the top and press it through. I'm gonna do it the inverted way, just because it's a little bit easier, it's more stable. It's a little bit bigger working area here. All right, so I take the plunger, so you can see that black line in there, it's at the 4. I'm gonna tap all this coffee in there, a little stuck. This thing uses a lot of electricity. It's already at 92% from 100, and it's not even boiling yet. But like I said, it's nice that this collapses. It's easy to put away. It's kind of a convenient way to boil water if you don't mind waiting. So I got sent like 3 bags of this coffee from Spearhead. They're numbered 1, 2, and 3. I have no idea what they are. I'm supposed to just try them out and tell him which ones I like best, and he's gonna tell me what's in them. We pretty much only have this in our camping bag right now, so it's taking a minute to go through them, but the coffee's great. This little manual grinder from Aeropress has got to be the top selling manual grinder on Amazon. This thing has a ton of reviews and works pretty good. It's definitely not as accurate with the grind as some of the other ones, but it's held pretty steady for me, and I'm not that obsessive about the grind, so yeah, it works good. All right, so for water, I'm not really gonna get the temperature of it, but you can see we're boiling now. I'm just gonna turn it off because it's obviously hot enough already. I don't want to put boiling water in my coffee, so what I'm gonna do is let that settle down a little bit until it's just kind of flat with no bubbles going through it, and then we'll pour it in. So that took us down to 88% on the 500 watts. So it does consume a bunch, but you can fill it up pretty high, and you know, that's at least 2 cups of coffee in there for us. But I'm gonna go up pretty high on there. Use my little stirring stick. Plunge her up so there's a little bit of brown there. And there you go. We've got 1 cup of coffee. Nothing else compares with this, and this is my favorite part of being out here camping in the morning, is having coffee. All right, so I hope you guys liked that video. If you want to see more like these, put it down in the comments section. I like to make a bunch of little videos like this, show you guys how I do the things I do, because sometimes when I just talk to people, I find out they're doing something for grilling or making coffee, and I'm like, wow, hey, that's a pretty cool way to do it. I'd like to try it out. The next one of these, I think I'll try to do a video on how I do kind of like an imitation espresso shot using the Aeropress, and also adding some water to make an Americano on it, which is definitely a different flavor, and it's a fun way to mix it up. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.